Hello.
Once again, good afternoon. We just said we should give other people 5 minutes, and the 5 minutes time has been, at least it's lapsed now, so we can continue from where we stopped last week. Last week, we started looking at some of the knowledge, skills that we need in this profession. We said that social work as a field, as a discipline, is tasking, and in taking care of other people, we should not forget taking care of ourselves too. And I can remember I gave us an analogy that it is like you having a message, and at the same time you have a horse. If that horse is not taken care of, the horse will collapse, and the message will be given to somebody else to go and deliver it. You and I are the horse, or the horses, and the message we have is this profession of taking care of other people, of helping other people. So in the course of helping other people, in the course of taking care of other people, we should not forget to take care of ourselves too. So we talk about that. We said social work is a dynamic and demanding profession that requires a variety of skills and qualities. To ensure quality service delivery in social work, professional needs to possess a comprehensive understanding and specific skills. So this is key. I will start talking about them, talk about knowledge of the social system, talk about human behavior and development, to talk about social work, social welfare policies and resources, to talk about assessment and intervention skills, talk about communication and engagement, cultural competence, ethical practice, case management and advocacy. We also talk about crisis intervention and trauma-informed practice, reflective practice and self-care. Then we also look at characteristics and skills of successful social workers. We started with empathy, communication, organization, critical thinking, active listening, self-care, cultural competence, patience, professional commitment, advocacy, objectivity, persistence, flexibility, resilience, and drive. And after these 15, we also talked about questioning, which has to do with research on how you ask questions, how you can, get questions from your clients. We talk about time management. We talk about interviewing. And under interview, we talk about open questions, closed questions, indirect questions, probing questions, and hypothetical questions. These are the five types of questions we talked about. And we said no single question type should dominate. It is better to use a range of questions to encourage a natural conversation rather than an interrogation. I think that was where we stopped last week. So we want to continue from social work. I'm still on that page 5 of the material I have. Sorry, I promised sending it to you, but I was unable to do that. Okay, let me quickly see if I can do that here. If I can just do that now, I will send it. Just give me some time. Give me some time, I will get it now to you. Okay. Just wait a bit. Come in. Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, let me send it immediately after this class. I will send it after this class. I don't want to interrupt what I'm doing on the system. Okay, let's continue. So we said social work can be a demanding industry that requires working with people with diverse needs. Individuals in this field must develop a unique skill set to excel in the workplace rather. Learning about these required skills can help you determine your social work abilities and areas that need improvement. You know, there are some skills you possess already, but you agree with me that they are not to their optimum capacity, or you are not using them up to the level you should. You are still looking at some people that you think you want to be like that person. Let me tell you at this juncture that you can only be yourself and work on yourself to be the best of yourself, to be the best in that, which you are doing. So like we said here, that learning about these required skills can help you determine your social work abilities and areas that need improvement. Employment in the field is growing fast. For example, the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics predicts job will grow 9% by 2031. And that is why you see many Nigerians, in fact, people who read Yoruba, you see them coming back to do PGD social work. People who read French, you see them coming back to do PGD social work, MSc social work. Why? Because the opportunities are bound over there. When you say a job will increase by, consider the population of America, look at 9%. You get it? And he said the Bureau of Labor Statistics, United States, BLS, predicts jobs will grow 9% by 2031. We are just talking about in the next 7 years. And that's why you see, even in Nigeria, you see how people are rushing this field of social work. Then what will now happen to you? You that you're already in it. Maybe you have your BSc, MSc, maybe even start with your diploma, in social work. What will now happen to you? The opportunity abounds everywhere. Faster than the average for all occupations. That is just that. It is faster than the average for all occupations. About 74,700 openings for social workers are projected each year on average over the decade. Social work skills include soft skills such as organization and communication, and technical skills directly related to the job, like claims evaluation. Social workers develop these skills through education, training, and experience. They should continually practice and improve their skills to keep up with job demands. That's one thing you cannot buy on the shelf in the supermarket, experience. So as you work on daily basis, you gather experience. The mistake of yesterday, you not make it today. You get it. And once you have, overcome that mistake, you become a master of that mistake. So anytime you see you going towards that mistake again, you remember, no, I'm not supposed to do it this way. So the experience is very, very important. They should continually practice and improve their skills to keep up with jobs' demand. Social work is a profession committed to helping individuals and communities working through challenges, to help individuals and communities working through challenges they encounter in everyday life. Social workers are employed in various settings to advocate for and improve lives. They may work with general populations or specialized in areas such as mental health, children, or veterans. Their roles can be very beneficial to others as well as for themselves. A social worker helps individuals, families, and communities access valuable resources to improve their health and well-being. Depending on your area, Depending on your social work specialty, you may have various responsibilities and work in different industries, such as education, healthcare, and government. Understanding more about this job can help you determine whether this career path is right for you. A social worker helps individuals and families improve their quality of life by ensuring access to basic needs and advocating for an individual's human rights. Telling you that a social worker is also human rights advocate. You advocate for human rights advocates rather. So they promote social change and empower their clients. Social workers help the people they work with by analyzing the environment, relationships, systems, and policies that impact their lives. So as a social worker, you're also expected to know the policy that is being put in place. So you will not be working against the policy of the land. You can then work towards changing some policies that are draconic or that are not, helping the society. At this level, we'll be talking about macro intervention. We have what we call micro, meso, and macro when it comes to different level of social work activities or operation. So you may work to change policy, but that will be at the macro level, not at the level you are working with individual, which is micro, meso, and micro. We get there very soon. They identify the issues their clients are experiencing and implement solutions such as physical relocation, therapy, or employment assistance. So we want to look at different levels of social work, different levels at which individual social worker can function, different levels. So here are 3 levels of social work you can pursue a career in. You can pursue a career in micro social work. You can pursue a career in meso social work. Then you can also pursue a career in macro social work. In the same way, the intervention you are providing are also divided into these 3: micro, meso, and macro. So your working can be as a micro social worker, a meso social worker, or a macro social worker. Let me tell you here that you cannot jump from micro to meso. It's like your level of development. By the time you work for individual, you can as well move down to work with, organizations, companies, then you move to the macro level, which is dealing with communities and governments, and different systems. So we talk about 3 levels of social work. The first one, like I said, is micro social work. Micro social work involves working with individuals, couples, families, and other small groups, like we said, micro, to help resolve challenges with mental health and problematic behavior. These social workers can work in an agency where a physician may observe their counseling section and prescribe medication to the client based on their situation and condition. Micro social workers may also establish their own private practice. So that is talking about micro. It can be in a small agency, then they can as well set up their own private practice. Please, let's mute our mics. The next one is meso social work. Meso. MEZZO. Meso social work. Meso social work is done at the group level. Now you have moved from the individual level now to the group level. These social workers usually conduct group sections rather than individual counseling. In most cases, they bring people who share the same challenges together, or what we call SHF, self-help groups. You know, these are a group of people that share the same challenge or challenges, and from there, they come together to help themselves. They come together to give meaning to their lives. Unlike when they are dealing with somebody who doesn't share their challenge or challenges. So in that group, we call SHF, that is self-help groups, SHG rather. They come together and they share their experiences. Among this group, we have the group we call the veterans, and we have those we call the rookies. Please mute your mics. Okay, so like I said, the meso-social work is done at the group level. These social workers usually conduct group sections rather than individual counseling. And I said to us that one of such groups is what we call SHG, self-help groups, which is a group of people that have the same challenges. At that level, they open up to themselves. My God, who is this person? Who is this person? Who is this person talking? Oh my God. So the next one, okay, let's complete this. This level uses a mixed method model, which means that they use their social work and group skills in collaboration with their community work, administrative and evaluation abilities. Usually, these individuals work on multiple projects simultaneously, requiring strong attention to detail and multitasking skills. That is, people working as meso-social workers. Then the last one here is the macro-social work. When social workers have a career at the macro level, they are working with the community, government, or other large client systems. Their focus is on community organization, administration, and policy management. Micro-social work's main goal is to improve systemic change challenges that impact large community and cultures. In this area, we are talking about policy reformation, policy formation, you know. So when you are at this level, you are dealing with, you know, issue that has to do with a large group of people, something that can give them meaning as a group, as a community, as a country, you know, so such can be implemented. So that shows us three categories or three classes of social work: the micro, the meso, and the macro social work. So you want to look at the next subtopic and say, what does the social work do? What does a social worker do rather? Social workers assist people with a range of educational backgrounds and socioeconomic statuses. Social workers assist people with a range of educational backgrounds and socioeconomic statuses. That means irrespective of the class of the person, irrespective of what the person is, either a pauper or a billionaire, either a stark illiterate or a professor, you are not limited as a social worker in rendering your service or services. So we said social workers assist people with a range of educational backgrounds and socioeconomic statuses. They recognize how a client's background can affect their mental and emotional well-being and response to treatment methods. You know, as a social worker, like I said, you are not limited. Your clients can be from anywhere. So cultural competence is what we are talking about here. Cultural competence, how to relate with people from different backgrounds, from different cultural background, from different socioeconomic background. Like we know that you cannot determine who your client will be. So you need to brace up yourself from the onset. You know, by the time you have the information about the next client that you'll be attending to, so you know from where you are going to start. If the client is an illiterate, you know that you have to condescend to the level of that person. It is not when that person comes in now begin to blow all your zim-zims and lodges. No, you must know how to relate with people of different backgrounds as a social worker. If not, your section will be a waste and you're not going to record any success with such clients. Social workers understand the unique needs of the lifestyle sector in their area and engage with their clients respectfully. If you notice that we've been talking about social workers and respect, social workers and respect. Social workers are not rude. We are not. So don't be one that is rude. Social workers understand the unique needs of the lifestyle sectors in their area and engage with their clients respectfully. Social workers' responsibilities. You want to look at, we have seen what social workers do, and then we also want to look at what social workers' responsibilities are. While their jobs duties can vary based on their employer, location, or specialty, social workers typically have the following responsibilities, irrespective of your area of specialization, irrespective of where you find yourself. These responsibilities are, common to all social workers. One, meet their clients to assess their situation and needs. Gather patients' information to understand the best treatment and counseling plan. Support clients experiencing challenges, such as unemployment. Refer clients to other specialists or resources for assistance. You must know when to make referral. Monitor clients' progress and maintain records or case files. Advocate for their clients to promote awareness of community needs. Work with lawmakers or organizations to develop or implement social programs or community resources for social change. When a change is coming in, you know you are moving to the realm of macro social work. Social worker skills, like we said before, here are some skills you may find helpful to develop in this position. One, cultural competence. I just mentioned that. Knowledge of mental health issues and cognitive development. Social skills, counseling and coaching abilities, active listening, critical thinking, problem solving, communication and interpersonal skills. Towards the end of this class, we'll be coming to a topic that is problem-solving model in a scientific way. That in fact, it's called C-steps problem-solving model. C-steps problem-solving model. So you must know how to solve problem in an objective manner, not subjective, in an objective manner. That if everybody should follow that same 6 models, the likelihood of getting the same result is very, very high. That is why we say it is objective. So looking at types of social workers. If you are interested in a career in social work, there are a variety of concentrations from which you can choose. While social work provides support and resources for various groups and individuals. Their focus and expertise can vary. Understanding the different topics within this field can help you determine which one to pursue. Social workers often focus on specific area of need for clients or communities. Some common type of social work includes 1, clinical. Your area can be clinical or medical social work. Clinical social workers can provide counseling treatment to clients with substance addiction, mental illness, and cognitive disabilities. They perform assessment, diagnosis, and treatment while recommending prevention suggestions to their clients. Prevention is key and is even better than cure. A clinical social worker can work one-on-one with a group or with families to provide support. They can also work in various settings, such as private practices, hospitals, and mental health facilities. That is being a clinical social worker. The next one is a child, family, or school social worker. Child, family, or school social worker. Children and their families experiencing social or psychological challenges in school, at home, or in their communities may seek the help of a specialized social worker. This type of social worker protects children by assessing the suitability of the educational, home, or neighborhood environment for the child and their guardians. They work with families and school staff to resolve issues and focus on child welfare and protection. Child and family school social workers place children in foster care when necessary, monitor their well-being, and assist adults with adopting or becoming foster parents. They can work for schools, government entities, and foster care agencies. I don't know, I think we have gone a bit far. I don't know if there's any area we need to go back that we didn't understand before we continue. Is there any area we need clarification? Is there any area we didn't understand? Hello? Hello? Is there any area we need clarification?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So after the child, family, or school social worker, we also have what we call medical and public health. Medical and public health. Individuals with health conditions or chronic illness can work with a medical social worker to navigate medical challenges. The social worker assists by providing coping mechanisms, counseling, and medical referrals to the patient and their family. They also help patients seek public resources and coordinate health care services. A public health social worker may also strive to limit the spread of diseases and help communities overcome widespread illnesses and disasters. Medical social workers work with hospitals, government agencies, and healthcare providers. Now, another area of specialization is mental health and substance abuse. These social workers coordinate and provide therapy, rehabilitation, and counseling to patients with addiction or mental health challenges. They help patients find affordable rehab centers and counseling programs based on their challenges. Mental health and substance abuse social workers also handle outreach and preventive programs to locate individuals in need and provide timely care. Mental health and substance abuse social workers may work for hospitals, residential treatment facilities, community organizations, and government agencies. Another area is community social worker. You can be a community social worker. A community social worker provides resources and improves the social justice environment of a particular neighborhood. Justice, social justice, town or city. Rather than interacting with individual clients, they work with a large group of community members. Community social workers focus on organizing and developing social programs to improve the quality of life in their areas. Often, they work for local government agencies. Then again, you can be a social worker working for the military, which is, seeing yourself in the military as a social worker. Military service members and their families face unique challenges before, during, and after their military services and can seek the assistance of a military social worker who understand their needs. These social workers assess the well-being of service members, identify post-traumatic stress, post-traumatic syndrome, stress disorder, what we call PTSD, and recommend treatment plans. They also help families coping with their relatives, deployment, those who are being redeployed to Sambisa. They are there to encourage their family counseling time. Those who family members or relatives were redeployed or injuries from serving. Military social workers commonly work for the government, but they can also work in the private sector for health centers that frequently serve military members. Because in such position, you'll be handling, vital and information that are meant to be kept secret. So if you find yourself in such position, make sure that you don't have mouth diarrhea. If not, you will not like what will happen to you. So the requirement for becoming a social worker. What are the requirements for being a social worker? Remember, we are talking about knowledge, skills, knowledge, understanding, and skills in social work. And you should know that everything you have been doing all this while, even if you are a social worker, is centered on this very course, your knowledge. Even if you have spent 10, 15 years in the university, you are still talking about the knowledge. Then we're also talking about the understanding. I was telling somebody that I did a course in my undergraduate days rather, that is a social thought. And I didn't understand that lecture until the day I wrote the exam, after writing the exam, because it was purely abstract. So you get it. So we're talking about understanding. Then after understanding, then the skills, the doing. So you can see that this course covers virtually everything you've been doing as social workers. Social workers complete specialized education and training to enter the field. Social workers, those words, complete specialized education and training to enter the field of social work or to become a professional social worker. Here are some requirements to become a social worker. Number one is education. Education key. Most social workers earn a Bachelor of Social Work, BSW, as a minimum. A bachelor's degree in social work typically takes 4 years to complete. During an undergraduate social work program, you take courses in various areas, including human behavior, social welfare policy, research methods, case management, and ethics. Most bachelor's degree programs require completing an internship or field work to graduate, while you can find entry-level jobs with a bachelor's degree. Many social workers earn a Master of Social Work, MSW degree from a program accredited by the Council on Social Work Education. In some states, entering your MSW degree is a requirement to become licensed, which means with your first degree in social work in some states, you cannot be licensed. Even when you have first degree, fine. MSc is a condition for you to own a license. But here for now in Nigeria, at least with the Chartered Institute of Social Work Practitioners of Nigeria, we still take first degree in social work. We take first degree in social work. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but for now, we still take that. So in some states, earning your MSW degree is a requirement to become licensed, and having this master's degree can also help you expand your job search. The graduate program typically takes 2 years to complete and involves a combination of coursework and supervised field training. Other degrees for social workers include doctorate in social work, that is DSW, and PhD in social work. So after your master's, you can as well have doctorate in social work, DSW, and PhD in social work. Then after education, the next thing is training. Many employers prefer to hire social workers with work experience or supervised clinical experience. During this training, you may work under the supervision of a licensed or experienced social worker. You can use this training to apply your classroom knowledge in a practical environment. You know, while you were in school, all you were being taught were the theoretical aspects. So by the time you find yourself in this training or in this internship, then you can apply your classroom knowledge, those theory, now bring them to fore, bring them to practice, and see how, viable they are.
Hello, sir. Sometimes you go offline and we missed one or two things you might have said before you come back again. I guess the network is bad.
To complete continuing education or training to maintain your social work license. For example, in C-ISOWN, you attend annual conferences. Hello?
We lost you for some time. I guess it was network.
No, You know, you will not lose me, and I will not lose you
We
in
didn't
Jesus'
lose.
name.
Okay, sir. The network, we were not hearing you again.
Thank you very well. Thank you so much. So where was that? Where did we have that break in that network? If I can go back there. What was the last thing you heard? Were you with me when I was talking about our training? Hello?
From the point of training where they prefer to hire experienced employees.
Okay, that is training. Okay, let's go back to training. Okay, thank you. So you said many employers prefer to hire social workers with work experience. After graduating with a social work degree, you can complete training such as internship or supervised clinical experience. I could remember when I finished my master's, my first degree, immediately I went for my master's. And after that, some of my friends that finished their first degree, they pick up jobs. So one of them, I went to meet him. He was working there with a Diamond Bank. I gave him my CV. My head was swelled then that, okay, you are working with first degree. I should get a job here. I have masters. And when I gave him my CV, the guy said, Boyega, your CV is still a virgin. I was like, virgin how? Yeah, you're only accumulating certificates, you don't have experience. And the bank was looking for experienced worker. So that's why any opportunity you have, to gather experience, it will go for you in your CV that I have worked under social person as an assistant, as a this, at least you have gathered experience. So, and that is part of the training we are talking about. During this training, you may work under the supervision of a licensed or experienced social worker. You can use this training to apply your classroom knowledge. During this training, you can then apply those knowledge you got during your university days. This is where you practicalize. Then you know that practical and theory are not the same. You get it. So you need to get that practical experience, which is the field experience you're talking about. So during this training, you may work under the supervision of a licensed or experienced social worker. You can use this training to apply your classroom knowledge in a practical environment and develop valuable skills to prepare you for a career in social work. So after the training, we talk about licensure, that is license. You getting license. And I was like, we only have one institute saddled with that responsibility of issuing license to social workers in Nigeria. And that institute, as of today, is the Chartered Institute of Social Work Practitioners of Nigeria. It is that institute that the federal government has saddled with that responsibility of issuing license to social workers. Licensing requirements for social workers vary by state. In Nigeria, it is only C-ISOWN, like I said, that is given that responsibility to issue license. Check with your state. In Nigeria, it's only one, so let's leave that. Determine the education, training, and examination requirement for licensure. Different states in America, in UK, have different, requirements, educational requirements, training requirements, and examination requirement for you to be licensed. And I know that is why many of you here, you are doing this SWPCE, which is the final stage. If you have not gotten some background in social work, you will not be in this class. Maybe you'll be in the foundation class, or you'll be in the intermediate class. But for you to be in this class, that shows that you've gone some steps before being in this class. And the exam you are going to write will also determine your success in the exam, will determine if you'll be given the license or you have to receipt. But I don't pray that for anyone anyway. I wish all of you success. So during this training, you may work under we are talking about licensure, So to earn a license, you typically take an exam which may evaluate your knowledge of ethics, theories and regulations. Most states require you to complete continuing education or training to maintain your social work license. And I was talking about that when I was called back to talk on the training. In this institute, it is expected of you to be attending the international conference, which comes up once in a year, and the conferences and the workshops in your zone, in the zone you belong to, because all these count for you. For example, by the time you are done with this program, you'll be given associate social worker. You become an associate social worker. And for you to move to the next stage, they will have to evaluate you based on your attendance, based on the conferences you have attended, based on your contribution, even in your region, in your zone, in the state where you belong to. Because you'll be assessed by your state coordinator and your state chairman. You get it? So your participation in all this will also determine if your license renewal will be approved. Because your license is two years for now. You have your license every two years, you renew it. If you have not done anything in that 2 years, I don't know, maybe your license will not be renewed. It all depends on what your state coordinator and your chairman will say about you. So that is on the issue of license. They want to look at types of social work specialization. Type of social work specialization. Type of social work specialization. Pursuing a school social work specialization may benefit you by helping you qualify for particular professional roles and by developing your expertise regarding a specific population or topic. This can help you serve your community by providing you with the in-depth knowledge and experience in handling a particular aspect of social work and encouraging you to develop skills relevant to your concentration. So it is not every social worker that will handle every aspect of social work. Fine, at your first degree level, you will touch virtually every aspect of social work. But in your master class, after you have your MSc, then you streamline to have your area of specialization. I know that people who are in medical social work, like myself, I'm an industrial social worker. We have people who are into gerontology. We have people who are community social worker. So different fields like that. So type of social work specialization is what we are looking at. I would say pursuing a social work specialization will benefit you by helping you qualify for particular professional roles and by providing your expertise and by developing your expertise regarding a specific population or topic. This can help you serve your community by providing you with in-depth knowledge and experience in handling a particular aspect of social work and encouraging you to develop skills relevant to your concentration. Your concentration, that is your field, your area of specialization. Employers may prefer candidates with a background in a specific aspect of this field. So focusing on a single group or topic may improve your prospects of becoming employed. For example, you say you have your first degree in social work, you have your master's in community development, and you do your PhD in community development. So if they are looking for people to handle that area, you are very qualified for that because you have more knowledge than somebody who did industrial social work. The person who did industrial social work only have the knowledge, the fundamental knowledge, the basic. You only have the basic knowledge of community social work. But you that you have gone to the level of doing your master's and PhD in community social work, definitely you have more knowledge than somebody who is just a general practitioner with his first degree. So if you are interested in pursuing a career as a social worker, there are a variety of specialization you can choose from, including one, public welfare. Public welfare. Specialization in public welfare social work may involve facilitating income and financial support for individuals who require assistance. I take it again. Specialization in public welfare social work may involve facilitating income and financial support for individuals who require assistance. They may work with older adults, children, and people with disabilities or chronic medical conditions that prevent them from obtaining or keeping a full-time profession. Such social workers with this concentration or specialty may provide support and resources directly or take on the role of manager. It's either you involve directly or you manage the resources available to these people with this challenge. You can take up the role of manager, administrator, or evaluator of public welfare service programs. Some of their professional duties may include one, evaluating the criteria and standard for service delivery. Two, training new staff members and supervising employees. Three, administering financial programs. So these are part of their responsibilities or duties as public welfare social worker. Then the next one and where we're going to stop is school social work. You can be a school social worker, like we said, that's area of specialization. If you specialize in school social work, you may help support children with their emotional, behavioral, and social challenges and act as a point of connection between them, their family members, and community services. In addition to public and private schools, you may also find employment with the social services agency or residential treatment center. Your primary responsibilities may include assisting students to overcome issues that interfere with their learning and overall well-being. If you are a school social worker, you may help students with various concerns, including one, teen pregnancy, food insufficiency and homelessness, and lastly, truancy and school dropouts. If you are in this area, if this is your area of specialization, then you'll be able to help students facing such challenge, like we talked about, the issue of what's it called? The issue of teen pregnancy. You know, some of these children, they will tell you nobody was there to tell them. They didn't know, and they fall easily as prey. But as a social worker, as a school social worker, you are there to encourage them, to tell them at this age, you dare not do this. At this stage, because we talk about developmental part of their bodies too. There is what we call developmental psychology, which starts from birth and it continues like that. So you'll be able to tell them at this age, these are the things. You know, there are some things that some parents, especially in Nigeria, in this part of the world, they shy away from. And this predisposes these children to a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. But as a school social worker, you'll be there to tell for example, the teenager, at this stage, okay, you said you have started your menstrual cycle. Now you are at risk of having teen pregnancy. If you do A, B, C, D, you may be surprised that their parents have never said such to them. You get it? So as a social worker, you'll be there, you know, to help the students with various concerns, which include teen pregnancy, food insufficiency and homelessness, and lastly, truancy and school dropout. We are going to stop here. Like I said, I'm going to forward the material to the platform right now. So the next thing we'll be talking about when we meet next week is research. You know, we are talking about different specialization in social work. We talk about public welfare social worker. We are talking about school social worker. And like I said, next week, by the special grace of God, we will continue from, okay, somebody said, I didn't even say this. We continue from research from next week. We continue from research from next week. So I don't know if anybody has any question to ask. Any question from anyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm
Hello,
hearing
sir.
you.
Hello,
Okay,
sir.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Hello, sir.
I'm hearing you, sir.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. I'm hearing you.
Yeah, this is Mr. Lucky, a graduate of social work for University of Nigeria, Usuka.
Please, can you close your video, please?
Okay, sir. That's me, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
I'm hearing you.
Okay. During your lecture, sir, you talk about
Yes, sir.
the areas, which is the meso, the macro, and micro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I would like you to enlighten me on that meso better, because it's not too clear for me during the lecture. For that, that's my question. Secondly, my second question. Hello, sir.
I'm hearing you.
Okay. My second question, you talk about the types of social work. The types of social work. In that area, I want you to tell me more about the types of the social work a bit. I'm not prepared because of the network frustration and where I am. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is there any other question from any other person?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay. Good afternoon, madam.
Yes, sir. Sir, I didn't get the clinical social work very well, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Any other one?
Yes,
I just want to take all the question once. Okay, yes.
Yes, it's similar to what Izalale said. The difference between clinical social work and the mental health and the substance abuse social workers.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Okay, let me go to the first.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Please, I want to get the core responsibility of the industrial social worker. You didn't dwell much on the industrial social worker.
I didn't even mention industrial. Hello, I didn't even mention anything about industrial social worker during the course of this class. I only said I am an industrial social worker.
Oh, sorry, I am an industrial social worker. That was why I was curious about it.
Hello, sir.
So I didn't. Please let me finish with this person.
I said I am an industrial social worker. So I did an option of industrial social worker. Maybe that was why I was curious about it when you said you are an industrial social worker. Thank you,
I'm an
sir.
industrial social worker. And I'm also an industrial sociologist.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I'm hearing you.
Sir.
Okay,
Okay, sir, please, while attending to the meso social work, please just touch the micro and the macro too. Thank you, sir.
I will pick the three. I pick the three again. I pick the
yes,
three.
Sir.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Please, when we were talking about the meso social work, something happened. You were about to mention something. I think I heard something like rock on, Abi rocky. I didn't really get it very well. When we were talking about the self-help.
I've heard. Okay.
So we didn't finish it. I think I heard something like rocky or rock on. I'm not sure, sir. So please, I want to come on.
Okay, let's please let me attend to these ones then. After attending to this, you can please, Mr. Lucky, let me attend to this. Let me attend to your question first, please. Okay, going back to levels of social work. Levels of social work, and that's where we have the micro social work, we have the meso social work, and we have the macro social work. If you look at the micro, it's dealing with individual or dealing with family that have challenges. You can work at the micro level. You can work at the meso level. You can as well work at the macro level. So micro has to do with individuals. As a social worker, you are dealing with an individual or with a family. You know, what's the difference? Please, let's mute our mic, please.
Mr. Lucky, please mute your mic.
Thank you so much for that. So the difference between or among these three is the number of people they are dealing with. Let me put it that way. The micro, the meso, and the macro. The difference among them is the population they are dealing with. That is just it. So when you look at the micro, it has a very small number of people they are attending to at that level, ranging from an individual. That is micro. But when you come to meso, it's like you attending to an organization. You may be invited to come to a company to give them a talk to the staff. That is a meso level. You can as well be invited to talk to a group of people having the same challenges. And I was saying that an example of such group is what we call SHG, self-help group. And I said among this self-help group, for example, let's take example of people who are living with HIV/AIDS. They have a group, and in that group, they will feel free to talk to themselves. It is easier for them to talk to themselves than for you to bring somebody who is a professional to come and talk to them. You know, there are two models when it comes to self-help group. There's what we call the professional group, you know, bringing in somebody from outside who is a professional. Then there's another model that has to do with this same set of people talking to themselves. And this second model is more active, or is more, it produces more results than bringing in a professional. So in such self-help group, we have what we call the rookies, and we have what we call the veterans. Did you get it now? We have what we call the veterans, and we have what we call the veterans, and we have what we call the rookies. Who are the veterans? The veterans are those who have been in that problem for a longer time. While the rookies are those who just, found themselves in that problem. For example, somebody who has been living with HIV/AIDS for 10 years, and somebody just, contacted the problem just a year or a month or 3 months. It is those who have been living with it for 10 years that will be encouraging the younger ones. No, it is not the end of life. You can live a normal life. All you need to do is this. So it is the veterans that is encouraging the rookies. The veterans are those who have been in it for a longer time, who have gathered experience on how to live by it or to live with it, and encouraging the rookies who are just coming in. Do you understand that now?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
We said when you come to the meso level, it is not as large as when you are dealing with the macro level.
Yes.
The macro level, you may be working at a macro level for an entire community. You may be working at a macro level even for the entire country, just to make sure that a policy is changed about women, just to make sure that a policy is changed about children. That is, it is for the whole country or for the whole state. That is when you are talking about macro level. I don't know if I've been able to explain the difference between the micro, meso, and macro.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. In fact,
Mr. Lucky.
Thank you, sir. Yes, you have answered my question, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes, yes.
So now,
I get it right. Yes.
Okay, somebody was talking about clinical and what?
Yes, sir. The difference between clinical social worker and the mental health and substance abuse social worker.
Okay, when you look at the clinical social worker, although in Nigeria here, you may find somebody working all these as a medical social worker. You may see somebody working as a medical social worker. Is also there as a social worker taking care of substance and drug abuse. You get it. But in a more developed societies than Nigeria, they are well, how will I put it now? Separated. They are separated. They are well streamlined. Thank you very much. You know, but in Nigeria, we put everything together under medical. You get it. But if we get to develop world, if we get to US or UK, you see somebody who is a real clinical social worker. You see somebody who is a real medical social worker. You get it. And we see somebody who is his own field has to do with mental health. They don't just fuse everything together and put everything under the umbrella of medical social worker. Because I'm telling you, the experience somebody who is working in a psychiatric hospital, the experience he's having will not be the same experience somebody who is working in a general hospital attending to emergency cases. They are not going to have the same experiences because they are not seeing the same type of patients. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They are not going to have the same experience. But in a more, civilized, or how will I put it, where they have different people. Maybe we will soon get there in Nigeria. We soon get there. But ideally, you should have clinical social worker, medical and public health social worker, mental health and substance abuse social worker. You need to fragment it and let them have experience in that minute area of the field. But if you look at what all of them, the three of them are doing, either as a mental health social worker, medical and public health social worker, or clinical social worker, it is towards the well-being of the client, health-wise. That is what the three of them are doing. That's what the two of them are doing. Health is their primary. Okay, somebody who is into substance abuse, he needs to get back to himself. Such person who is into substance abuse, oh my God, that person will need rehabilitation. You get it? Hello?
Yes, I got it.
Who is this person now?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, please, can we now say that there's a difference between clinical social worker and a medical social worker?
That's what it's for.
Based on what they are doing, based on I said something here that if you look at the way everything is ministry, like, okay, let me just go to the clinical social worker. Listen to me, please. Clinical social worker can provide counseling treatment to clients with substance addiction, mental illness, and cognitive disabilities. They perform assessment, diagnosis, and treatment while recommending prevention suggestions to their clients. A clinical social worker can work one-on-one with a group or with families to provide support. They can also work with various settings, such as private practices, hospitals, and mental health facilities, that clinical. So let's go to medical. medical and public health. Individuals with health conditions and chronic illness can work with a medical social worker to navigate medical challenges. The social worker assists by providing coping mechanism, counseling, and medical referrals to the patients and their families. They also help patients seek public resources and coordination healthcare services. A public health social worker may also strive to limit the spread of disease and help communities overcome widespread illness and disasters. Medical social workers work for hospitals, government agencies, and healthcare providers. From the work of the two of them, you can see they have similarities and they have differences. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you.
So you can see they have similarities and they have differences because both of them, they are working towards the betterment of the health condition of their people. But you can as well see the line that also separates them. Then when you go to the mental health and substance abuse, this one still has to do with health too. These social workers coordinate and provide therapy, rehabilitation, and counseling. One thing that is common to the three of them is counseling. You get it? So these social workers coordinate and provide therapy, rehabilitation, and counseling to patients with addiction and mental health challenges. They help patients find affordable rehab centers and counseling programs based on their challenges. Mental health and substance abuse social workers also handle outreach and prevention programs. They organize outreach programs, go to the villages like, church outreach now, where we go out to do outreach. So it's like educating people against the abuse of drugs and other substances. So you can now see, if you look at the three of them, they have something that joins them together, which is the well-being of the person, of their clients. And you can also see the line that also separates them. I don't know if I've been able to answer your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, madam. I think I've answered all the questions that were, I think I've answered all the questions that were given to me.
Yes, the macro.
Is anyone
the macro.
I've explained the macro and micro now. That's the first thing I explained.
Yes.
Okay, madam. Okay, let me go back to it. I just want to make sure that I'm not leaving anything untouched before I leave the class today. I said one thing that actually separated the micro, the meso, and the macro is the number of people they are attending to. At the micro level, you can deal with an individual. You can deal with just a family. Like a doctor, you go into the hospital as a patient and you see your doctor. That is an individual assessment. That is the micro, M-I-C-R-O, micro. But when you come to meso level, you are dealing with a larger number of people. You are dealing with a group. This group can be an organization. Maybe you are invited to a company, to an organization to come and attend to a particular issue. Maybe as an industrial social worker, that is as a meso level. That is at the meso level. Meso. And when you come to the macro level, is a larger number of people. You are dealing with something that has to do with a state, a community. And at this level, you are talking about policy reformation and policy formation. So we are dealing at the macro level, is the largest group of people you are dealing with. We are dealing at the meso level is large or larger than micro. So what differentiates all of this is the number of people you are dealing with. But you are providing the same thing. Either an intervention or advocacy, that is what you are trying to do. I don't know if I've been able to answer that.
Perfect, sir. Thank you.
Chukwu Gozeki. Thank you. See you by His grace
Hello, sir.
next week.
Sorry,
But
sir, please. Can you
okay,
please throw
ma'am.
more light on the industrial social work? I didn't get that, please.
Madam, industrial social work is another field.
Okay.
Are you an industrial social worker?
No, I'm not.
I just said we have different. Okay, for example, let me
I
just
just
say
want to know,
this.
do they work in industries? What do they do exactly?
Okay,
I just want to have
Yes,
an
they do. They
idea.
do.
Okay.
They do. In fact, I tell people that industrial social workers are the social workers for other social workers. You get my point? Because social workers working in all ways of life, fields of life, they still need somebody to also advocate for them. And who is advocating for them is an industrial social worker. In any organization you find yourself, that industrial social worker is a person who is playing a neutrality position, because you speak for the employee, you also speak for the employer. So you must not be found taking side. An industrial social worker goes beyond the four walls of the organization, can even get to the community and get to the family of the employee. Because if the problem an employee is facing is from the family, you visit the family as an industrial social worker. You visit, you go on home visits now as a social worker. You can as well get to the community to see if the problem the person is facing is from the community. Because if that problem is not solved to the roots, it can cause more harm in the place of work. So an industrial social worker is there to speak for both the employer and employer, and to make sure that whatever the employer is doing for the employee, there is a reciprocating side from the employer. For example, if the industrial social worker advocates for more or increment upward, review of the salary of the worker, that means at that point he has spoken for the employee. By the time the employer has increased the salary of the employee, this same industrial social worker will also go back to the employee and say that to whom much is given, much is expected. You need to now up your production. You see, it's working for both the employer and employer, and also to also make sure that everything in the place of work is working for the employee. Things they need to give their best are being put in place. Lightning, make sure that the environment is conducive, to make sure that it is accident free, things like that. So that is what industrial social workers are into. I don't know. I think somebody was telling me that she is also an industrial social worker here.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, please, one more question. The last question.
Jesus Christ.
One more question, sir. Please, sir. Who is do we have a directory of state coordinators of SWPCE?
We have at different states. We have state
like
coordinators.
Me, I'm from
and we
Abia
have
State.
Abia State.
Yes, sir.
We have somebody from Abia State. That is Chairman Dukauba. She's a licensed social worker. She also finished BSW from Federal University of Allied Health Sciences, Enugu.
Yeah.
So you can talk, you can private chat me so I can link you up with her, or better still link you up with the person in charge of membership. So we give him more information on that. Okay, right, you can as well chat. You can as well chat Dr. Atere up.
All right, are we?
Yeah, chat Dr. Atere up that you are from Abia State. We have members. We have, for example, Enugu here. We have social worker Joy Wadara. She's the state coordinator. Then you also have state chairman. Those are the two. Then the chairman has his ESCO. So the chairman liaises with the national through the state coordinator. So that is the way SWPCE is being run.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Hello, sir.
So like I promised, okay.
Don't forget to send the material to us, please.
I no go forget.
Please, sir, I want to ask a question, and in regards to what you said before the last speaker, sir, with regards to the social industrial social workers speaking in favor of the workers and then the employee, the employer and the employee.
Are you an industrial social worker?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm hearing you.
Yes, sir. That role, sir, is it not conflicting with the work, or let me say, infringing into the work of an HR in that organization?
Well, people have asked me that question several times. You understand? The HR work is just within the four walls of the organization. Where HR will stop, an industrial social worker will still continue. Definitely, they have everything they are doing is towards the betterment of the employee. You get it? That is
Yes.
human resource department.
Yes,
You get
sir.
it? But
Yes,
where HR will stop, industrial social worker will still continue. HR will not go to the community to look for to check the problem that is wrong with an employee. HR will not go to the family of an employee to see what is the problem. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes,
But
sir.
an industrial social worker will get to the root cause of a particular problem. You know, we go on visits. We go.
Network.
Let me start for the record listing, sir. Hello? Hello?
Are we done with the class?
I guess it's because of the network. The lecturer is not around.
As well.
Let's wait and see if we'll come back shortly.
Okay. Maybe the next 10 minutes, this is 1:30. The next 10 minutes, we'll wait and then we can log out.
Good afternoon, everyone. Please, concerning the group that was posted, please, if you are in group 6, I will send a message to the chat now so that we can create.
What group is that?
Group 6. Dr. Atere said we should create a WhatsApp group.
Okay.
So let's use
so
this
that we
opportunity.
can work together before the presentation.
So please I'll send my WhatsApp number on the chat group so that we can start doing something. Thank you.
Why are you dropping the number? We've not seen any phone number.
Group 6 members, please.
There is no group 6 then, there is group 5.
There is group 6 with only just
Group
4
6
people.
members, please, private chat.
Group 6 is the
I've
last
seen it.
group.
You are the group 6 member, please, private chat this number. Thanks. What about group 2? Not lessons.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
I thought the what's it called now? The IT person was the one that terminated our class because I wasn't hearing anything from anywhere again. So that was why I didn't know that people are still in the class. I'm sorry. Well, hello, is that what?
I said there's something went amiss, and so we were holding on for you, sir.
Okay, no problem. I think what I was explaining, the last thing I was saying was about the person talking about HR and industrial social work. So, and I was like, where HR will stop, industrial social worker will continue. From even where it stopped, the industrial social work is still working because HR work within the four walls of the organization. But industrial social worker work within and outside the four walls of the organization, to the community and to the family. You understand? They even help the family members to see what they can do to ease the employee, maybe getting a job opportunity, even for the family members, in order to ease the challenges of the employee. Maybe his salary is meager. So industrial social worker go beyond what an HR will do. I'm not saying the HR is not important. Likewise, the industrial social worker is also important in the organization. But I'm seeing a rivalry because I doubt I don't know if there is any organization you will find a department that will be called industrial social work department in any organization. And if you are bringing such person into any organization, they will still fix the person under HR, working under the HR, and they will still be practicing, the HR activities. But the moment we have industrial social work department, then we begin to function and blossom in that area. In Nigeria, even social work is still evolving. About 5 years or 3 years ago, in Canada, they celebrated 100 years of social work. So how many years is social work in Nigeria? I still believe it's still evolving. But by the time we get there, each one of us, we face our primary assignment, even in organization. The HR will face their own, while the industrial social worker will also face their own. So that is just that. So with this, I think we can end the class for today. Then I will send the material to the. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I have a question, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Sir, as now that we are trying to get our licensure. Does this licensure qualifies me to becoming a clinical, medical, or mental health social worker?
What is your area? What is your area of specialization?
For the first degree is adult education.
Okay, you did education.
Yes.
You know you are not a social worker. What about your second degree?
Community development.
Community development.
Yes.
Is it social work with specialty in community development?
That is not a social work now.
Hello? Hello, madam?
No, sir. No, sir. Just community development.
In which department? Under which department?
Under the Department of Continuing Education and Community Development.
That is education now.
Oga, please wait. Or should I stop for you so you continue?
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir.
Now, the best you can be, even in this social work, is area of community development.
Okay, sir.
Are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Now, like I said, I am an industrial social worker. With my license, that does not qualify me to be a medical social worker or a clinical social worker. The license is just, you know, all medical doctors, they have their license.
Yes, sir.
So that is what that license is doing. I learned in a particular state. Yes, I learned that in a particular state now, desk as a social worker in that state, and you don't have your license, that will delay your promotion. Likewise, you cannot work as a doctor without a license. Are you getting my point?
Yes,
so this license, by the time every state in Nigeria get to that point, once you are being employed as a social worker or in a social work department, you must come with your license that you are a licensed social worker.
Yeah.
That means you have internalized the ethics of the profession. You know the do's and the don'ts of the profession. That is what that license is saying. You get it? That license does not change your area of specialization.
Okay.
Okay, that is it.
Okay, so the reason why I'm asking is I work with a public health NGO.
Yeah.
So that's why I was asking, and I understood that adult education, community development are all applied social work courses.
Yes, but your area is, you know, we have community development, people who did social work with specialty in community development.
Yes, sir.
And so you are best for that area or specialization of community development.
Okay, sir.
So your license now, what will be written on your license as your area of specialization will be community development.
Okay.
Like on my license, what is there is industrial social work. You get it? Hello?
Yes, sir.
And so that is it.
Thank you,
that's
sir.
It.
Yes, sir.
You're
That's
welcome,
clear, sir.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think we can close the class for today. I never knew we were going to spend 2 hours. I thought my class is just 1 hour.
The class was interesting, sir. That's why.
No problem. I enjoy it too.
And very interactive.
Very interactive.
Thank you, madam.
Very informative.
Mr. Lucky, I thought you were asking a question. Okay. See you again next week by His grace. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. God bless you, sir. I appreciate for letting us. Yes, sir. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Have a beautiful weekend and regards to your family.
I do that on YouTube. Thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, madam. Thanks so much.
The class was very informative.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
This last one, push am.
This private chat. I am a the rule no city. I can tell you to that's the report. Sweetie, now the go, son, this thing. Where you? What about good to who are the six? Group six. Member, please, private chats this number. Please, I can't. Please, I can't understand the group. Please, I can't understand this chart of the group six private.